You're tired in a way sleep doesn't touch. Not the kind where your body aches. The kind where even resting feels like work. You lie down at night and think, I shouldn't be this exhausted. I didn't even do that much today. And yet, something in you feels wrung out. Like you've been carrying weight no one else can see. It's quiet now, but your mind isn't. You replay the day, not the whole thing, just the moments that didn't land right. A tone, a pause, a look you can't interpret. You tell yourself it doesn't matter, but your thoughts don't listen. You imagine conversations that never happened. You correct things you didn't say. You prepare explanations no one asked for. And somewhere in all of that, you feel this deep, low-level fatigue. Not dramatic, just constant. It's the kind of tired that makes even small decisions feel heavy. What to reply, when to reply, how it might sound. You think about the future without meaning to. You see problems before they exist. You try to solve them before they arrive. Your mind is always a few steps ahead, leaning forward, bracing. And that takes energy, more than you realize. You don't notice it happening. There's no moment where you say, now I'm draining myself. It just slowly adds up. Every unspoken thought, every imagined outcome, every emotional check-in you do with yourself. You scan your own feelings constantly. Am I okay? Did that hurt more than I'm admitting? Should I let that go? Or will it come back later? You don't even call it thinking. It feels like responsibility. You feel responsible for outcomes, for harmony, for making sure nothing goes wrong, even when nothing is actually wrong. That's part of the exhaustion. You're always on. Even when you're smiling, something inside you is monitoring the room. Even when you're alone, your mind is still interacting with people who aren't there. You replay old conversations, not because you want to, but because your mind is searching for closure it never found. You wonder if you were misunderstood, if you came across wrong, if you hurt someone without realizing it. And those thoughts don't feel loud, they feel familiar. Like background noise you've lived with so long, you only notice it when it briefly stops. There are moments when you feel suddenly calm. And instead of enjoying it, you get suspicious. You wonder what you're forgetting. That's the strange thing. Peace doesn't always feel safe. Your mind learned that calm means unprepared. That rest means something might slip through the cracks. So even relaxation has a cost. You try to unwind, but your thoughts keep tugging at you. Did I say too much? Did I say enough? What if that choice leads to something worse later? Your mind moves in circles, but it feels like progress. Because doing nothing feels worse. And over time, that constant inner movement becomes draining. Not all at once, quietly. Like a phone battery losing power in the background. You don't notice until one day you feel empty and you can't explain why. You feel emotionally flat, or overly sensitive, or both in the same hour. Little things hit harder than they should. Big things leave you strangely numb. And you wonder what's wrong with you. But nothing is wrong. You've just been holding too much inside your head. You carry unfinished emotional business. Thoughts that never reach resolution. Questions without answers. Your mind hates loose ends, so it keeps revisiting them. Again and again. And each visit costs something. You don't cry all the time. You don't panic constantly. You function. That's what makes it confusing. From the outside, you seem fine. But inside, you're running mental marathons in silence. You anticipate reactions before they happen. You feel emotions before they arrive. You grieve outcomes that never occur. And that emotional labor adds up. You're tired because you feel deeply, but you rarely let those feelings fully move through you. You analyze them instead. You break them apart. You question them. You wonder if they're valid. And by the time you're done thinking, there's no energy left to actually feel. So the emotion stays stuck. That's exhausting. At night, when the world finally slows down, your mind speeds up. Because it's the first time all day you're not distracted. So everything you held back rushes in. Regrets, what ifs, imaginary futures. You think about how things could go wrong. You think about how things already did. You tell yourself you'll stop soon. Just one more thought. But there's always one more. And even when you finally fall asleep, your mind doesn't fully rest. You wake up tired, not because you didn't sleep, but because your inner world never shut down. You feel like you're always catching up emotionally, like you're behind on processing life. And that creates a quiet pressure. A sense that if you don't stay mentally alert, something important will be missed. So you stay alert, you stay aware, you stay exhausted. What hurts most is that you don't feel dramatic about it. You don't feel justified in being this tired. You tell yourself other people handle more. Other people don't struggle like this. So you minimize it, you push through. But emotional exhaustion doesn't respond to pushing. It just goes deeper. You might notice it in small ways. You don't have the same patience you used to. You feel drained after conversations, even good ones. You crave solitude but feel lonely when you get it. You want connection, but it feels like work. That contradiction wears you down. You're constantly adjusting yourself internally. Am I too much? Am I too quiet? Should I say something? Should I stay silent? Those micro decisions never stop, and they all cost energy. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you've been strong in invisible ways for a long time. You've been holding your emotions with care, trying not to let them spill, trying not to burden anyone, trying to make sense of everything before reacting. That restraint is heavy. And eventually, your system asks for rest, not sleep. Rest from thinking. Rest from managing. Rest from being inside your head all the time. There's a moment, sometimes late at night, when you realize you don't want answers anymore. You just want quiet, not silence. Quiet inside. A feeling where your mind isn't racing ahead or backward, where it's just here. Those moments are rare, but when they come, you feel a strange relief, like exhaling after holding your breath all day. You realize how tired you've been. Not physically, emotionally. And maybe, just maybe, there's nothing you need to fix right now. Nothing you need to solve tonight. Maybe the exhaustion isn't a flaw. Maybe it's a signal. Not asking you to do more, just asking you to stop carrying everything alone. And as you listen to this, lying there in the quiet, you don't need to understand yourself better. You don't need clarity. You don't need closure. You can just let your thoughts soften. Let them pass without chasing them. Just for this moment, just long enough to feel what it's like when you're not bracing for anything at all.